Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Talk in English on PTS.
Get ready to learn something new today with Gabe
and Andrea. Well, friends, today we are looking at space. What does that mean? Well, stay with us as we keep learning words to talk about space. Let's look at today's key words. The first one is set up. Set up. Mrs. Lee set up her classroom before school.
Point. Point. Little Tommy likes to point at cars on the road.
Sky. Sky. The sky is so blue today. It's beautiful.
Through. Through. Sydney walked through the door into the other room.
Earth. Earth. We live on planet Earth.
Scientist. Scientist. Eugene is good at science. Maybe he can be a scientist one day. Well, let's talk about these words and say them one more time. The first one is set up. Two words, set up.
Point. Point.
Sky. Sky.
Through. Through.
Earth. Earth.
Scientist. Scientist. Great job, everyone. Well, let's go see our friend Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Look in the sky. Do you see it?
Where?
What?
It's today's mission.
What? Eddie.
Okay, what's the mission?
Okay.
Here it is. What is the second planet from the sun?
What is the second planet from the sun?
Listen carefully. Now let's begin today's lesson, looking at space.
Simon and Renee are outside Max and Sarah's house. Simon is setting up a telescope. He points the telescope to the sky. Then he looks into the telescope. He moves the telescope and looks into it again. Then he tells Renee to look inside the telescope. Renee looks in and smiles. Simon tells Renee to go get Sarah and Max.
Wow, well, I think that Max and Sarah are going to be surprised. This was an exciting Read It paragraph. Now, at the beginning, what were Simon and Renee doing?
Well, Simon and Renee are outside of Max and Sarah's house, and Simon is setting up a telescope.
He's setting up a telescope. Let's look at these key words together. Set up. Set up. Now, when you set up something, that means you get it ready to use. They are setting up the telescope. They are getting it ready to use.
You can use these words like this. I'm setting up a table and some chairs so that we can eat there. Or, I'm setting up right now for a party later.
Or the teacher sets up her classroom for the students. We have more to learn. The next key word is point. This is the verb point. When you point at something, you hold one thing to another thing. Sometimes you point using your hand or you point using your finger to something you want another person to see.
That's true, but I don't think it's very polite to point at other people. You can point at something to show where something is, but don't point at other people. It's not polite.
That is true, Gabe. Well, Simon points the telescope to the sky. That means the direction of the telescope is to the sky, and that's another key word, sky. Sky. Now, the sky is something that you see when you are outdoors. When the sun is shining, the sky is usually blue. At night, you can see stars in the sky.
And if it is going to rain soon, then you can say it is a cloudy sky or a gray sky.
Hi, Sarah. Renee, you're here. Yes, come outside. Okay. Max, Renee and Simon are here.
I'm coming.
Come here, Sarah. I want to show you something.
Okay.
Do you see that light in the sky?
Yes. Is that a star?
No, that's Venus.
Really?
Yes, look in the telescope.
Well, friends, I have a question for you, Andrea. This is for you too.
Okay.
Is the sun a star?
Yes, Gabe, the sun is a star.
Okay, good job, Andrea.
Woo, thank you.
Now, is Venus a star?
No, Venus is not a star.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure Venus is a planet.
Venus is a planet, the sun is a star, and these are both things that we can see in space. Learning how to talk about space. So friends, use these words sometime today, planet and star. Now in this conversation, we see the word come a lot. At the beginning, Renee says, come outside. Where else do we see it?
We also see Max say, I'm coming. Renee asks them to come outside, then Max says, I'm coming. Now we use this phrase, I'm coming, when you are on your way to do something. It's another way to say, yes, yes, I will come. I'm coming.
I'm coming. Now Simon says, come here, Sarah. I want to show you something. So friends, there are different ways to use this word come. What are you looking at, Sarah?
I'm looking at Venus through Simon's telescope.
Really? Let me see. Wow, it's beautiful.
We learned about Venus in our science class last week. It's the second planet from the sun.
That's right. Venus is almost the same size as Earth. Scientists call it Earth's sister planet.
I didn't know that.
Simon knows a lot about space.
Wow, we are learning a lot about space. I would love to look through a telescope into space. Well, friends, we did find the answer to today's mission in this conversation. The question is, what is the second planet from the sun?
What is the second planet from the sun? Well, Venus is the second planet from the sun.
We also learned more about Venus. We learned that Venus is almost the same size as Earth. That means it's almost as big as Earth. Our key word is Earth. Earth. Now, Earth is the planet that we are on right now. Earth is our home.
And you can also call Earth planet Earth. We live on planet Earth. You know, from space, Earth looks blue and green. That's what Earth looks like.
And scientists keep helping us learn more about Earth. Our keyword is scientist. Scientist. A scientist is a person who studies and knows a lot about science and shares that with others.
You can say, the scientist knows a lot about our planet. The scientist knows a lot about science. Now, if you like to study science, what kind of scientist will you be?
And if you are a scientist, you might look through a telescope. Our key word here is through. Through. Now, when you look at something through another thing, that means you use one side to see something else on the other side.
You can also use this word through in other ways. You can swim through water, or you can walk through a door.
And right now you are listening to us through a radio or maybe watching us through TV.
How to.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to How To. Today, Romeo and I are in space.
Let's talk about space. Ashley, let me ask you a question.
What is it?
Do you want to go to the moon?
Sure, I would like to go to the moon. I look at the moon every night. And I would like to walk on the moon.
We are talking about space.
I know! And when you talk about space, you can talk about the moon. You can say, do you want to go to the moon?
That's right. Do you want to go to the moon? Hey, Ashley, I think we are going to the moon.
Really? Oh, I am excited. Now, what is another way to talk about space?
Would you like to travel to another planet?
Yes, I would like to travel to another planet. Earth is a planet. Now, what is another way to talk about space?
Do you want to go to space?
Yes, I do. The stars are beautiful from space. Now, let's review.
Do you want to go to the moon? Would you like to travel to another planet? Do you want to go to space?
And that's how to do it. Romeo, let's go to the moon.
Okay, see you there.
Conversation replay. Simon and Renee are outside Max and Sarah's house. Simon is setting up a telescope. He points the telescope to the sky. Then he looks into the telescope. He moves the telescope and looks into it again. Then he tells Renee to look inside the telescope. Renee looks in and smiles. Simon tells Renee to go get Sarah and Max.
Hi, Sarah. Renee, you're here.
Yes, come outside.
Okay. Max, Renee and Simon are here.
I'm coming.
Come here, Sarah. I want to show you something.
Okay.
Do you see that light in the sky?
Yes. Is that a star?
No, that's Venus.
Really?
Yes, look in the telescope.
What are you looking at, Sarah?
I'm looking at Venus through Simon's telescope.
Really? Let me see. Wow, it's beautiful.
We learned about Venus in our science class last week. It's the second planet from the sun.
That's right. Venus is almost the same size as Earth. Scientists call it Earth's sister planet.
I didn't know that.
Simon knows a lot about space.
Calendar phrase.
Gabe, I want to travel in space.
What are you talking about? You want to travel in space?
Yes, I do. I want to travel in space. And that is today's calendar phrase. I want to travel in space.
I want to travel in space.
Well, friends, if you want to go to space, if you dream of going to space, you can use this phrase.
I want to travel in space.
Well, friends, let's travel over to our calendar phrase skit.
I want to travel in space.
I want to travel in space.
Wow, look at this planet.
Cool! I want to travel in space.
Really? Why?
There are so many interesting things to see.
I want to travel in space too. This magazine says everyone can travel in space someday.
Really? I want to travel in space. I will go to the moon.
Me too. I want to travel in space.
I want to travel in space.
Welcome back. Well, friends, I want to practice with the question of the day. What about you, boys?
Hey, I'm ready.
Eddie, are you?
Yes, I am. I am ready.
So can you give us the question?
Oh, okay. Yes. Here it is. What do you know a lot about?
What do you know a lot about?
I know a lot about music. I know how to play drums, I know how to sing, and there are other things that I know about music.
That's true. Gabe does know a lot about music. Well, friends, ask someone this question today and then join us again tomorrow here on Let's Talk in English because
Learning English can be fun.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.